it.
Please, don't talk about that now. Tell me, how was France?
The Queen is crazy for ring-dings and devil dogs.
Well, you know, at breakfast I invented something I call a ho-ho.
Really? I thought you were working on a yodel. Listen, I hope you could take care of this. All I have is hundreds. I don't like giving my picture out.
Relax, man. I got the Colonial Express card. I don't leave Monticello without it.
Gentlemen, the name of your party?
We're Whigs.
The president's room, then.
Voudin.
Hi, I'm Joe L'Erario.
And I'm Ed Feldman. Here we have 2 federal chairs.
2 federal style chairs.
You know, a lot of people cry to us that they've never upholstered anything, and what should I try?
And we always tell them the dining chair seats, and they say, I already did that.
By this time, everyone in the restaurant is looking at us.
And the food is falling off our forks, and we tell them, wait for the book.
Order it special. So here's the answer. 2 identical chairs, and as you can see, one still has the old fabric on.
And the other has had its fabric peeled away to reveal the understructure. And you may want to ask, why does this help us?
Because you'll always have a before and an after to refer to.
You will always have a finished product that you are aspiring towards. And when you're done with the first chair, strip the second chair and copy the first chair.
And on and on and on.
Very simple.
Hey,
Eh?
look, zigzag springs.
Oh, yeah, it's a sonata for John Cage wrote this.
But we're going to make them different as night and day.
Because this one may adore the minuet, the ballet russe, or crepe Suzette.
While this one will love to rock and roll in a hot dog, we'll make it lose control, not
What Freudian? What a wild duet.
So, the first thing we do is we begin to strip the fabric. Oh, yes. And I'll take this off, and then each and every one of these stupid little tacks has to come out.
I'm stripping this over here.
Yeah, right.
Look, I'm done.
Hard to do. We've got a wild and wacky fabric for one of them. And, goodbye. And when next you see us, we'll be women. That's not your chair. This is going to be your chair.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll just put an arrow.
No! Well, now that one is going to be recovered in the federal fabric, while this one will have the more wacky fabric.
And I'm putting a stain on here. This is an ultra-penetrating stain. Ultraman uses this. That's how he gets his color. It's alcohol-based. It dries very fast. You just paint it on. It soaks right into your cleanly stripped and sanded wood.
While I will use, from the basis of my fanciful finish, the white spray primer, which I am just going to paint on the legs and the arms, because everything will be covered with the fabric. This won't take long to dry.
I'm done.
And then, as am I.
Wipe off some of the excess there.
I was done first. Now that the primer is dry, we're going to apply our next level of fanciful finish. This is a faux granite spray-on. The cap comes like this. That's what it's supposed to look like. You shake the can, you hold it 14 to 16 inches away, and... Holy cow! You like that? Okay.
I like that.
All right, I'm going to turn it around and do the front.
Oh, there's a lot of power in that blower there.
Boy, it's kind of like something you might do on New Year's Eve. I'll do this side. What the heck?
You can do that to your boots.
It doesn't smell like spray paint. I don't know what it smells like. Now over to Joe, who's doing the traditional finish.
Oh, things you can do with gloves also. This is the traditional finish, and I have the brown mahogany toner. Remember, we stained it. I'm going to go up the leg and do this nice tone on it. Now, I might have to do a couple coats on this, because the toners, as they come in the can, unlike the ones you can mix up yourself, are thin very much, so they can get through this little nozzle. So instead of spraying one heavy coat, you want to spray 2 or 3 light coats. And this is a clear gloss lacquer, and I'm going to spray it right over the toner. Go fast, and don't get too close, otherwise you'll create drips, and you don't want that.
You must wear a respirator when you're doing this kind of work. However, we have found that you cannot hear us with a respirator on, and besides,
We're cartoon characters.
we're just lines on paper. So here I go, and besides, from what I've been breathing, it helps me in my art. This is the string, which is going to go over top of the speckles. It's another kind of propellant.
Have a party. Oh boy!
Have you ever been to Electric Ladyland? We've done this before.
And we will do it again because it's so damn fascinating.
Good night. We're putting the burlap on it. Remember, you have to put burlap on your frame first in order for the padding not to fall through onto the back, onto the floor. So, we've pulled this burlap around, and we have a metal sort of retaining ring, which was put in by an orthodontist, and we have to pull the top up and tack here. But what's going to hold it down? Well, one of the ways you can hold it, and I'm going to stitch it to you just like Jimmy Cagney and the man with 1,000 faces.
Yeah, I have 1,000 faces.
I'm so sorry. No, actually, I'm going to stitch. You want to move the fingers right now, Grandma? Thank you. That was the forerunner to Aunt Blabby, you know, that particular scene. So I'm making giant, giant stitches here.
Sorry. Coltrane did that, didn't he?
Giant stitches. Okay. Now we stitch this, we snip this off, and now we drop the top down because we want tension on the top. Move all the tools away, and we drop it down. Drop it Not down. All the way. See, I want you to hold it.
Okay, I'll hold it like this.
And we pull the center first.
How many times have you heard that?
You pull the center first, and you put kabam, and then now what I'd like to do now, I will pull it back up, because now I'm going to go like this.
Okay.
Defining the shape. Here, you do the last one.
I can't.
Okay. Now we've defined the shape there.
That's defined all right.
Now, another way to define another shape, I say I tricked you.
What are you doing?
Down,
Scoop here.
Give me one of those other pieces of burlap.
This one, I'm making a pair of underwear out of this.
Wise blood.
Burlap.
So, the other way, if you don't want to stitch this, is just to make a double loop.
That's all. Leave it there.
And then we drop it down. And we'll define the curve this way.
So you're just going to staple that into the inside arm.
Absolutely. Pulling it tight. Now remember, the concept of fabric is burlap first, so something can sit on it, and then you have to have some deep down firmness.
This is deep down and firm.
And it's called, 1, 2, 3, horsehair. Yes, it's horsehair. Now, some people use foam for the deep down hardness. Some people use the horsehair, and we're reusing the old horsehair because we didn't want to kill any new horses.
There we go. Just pull it out.
It'll just sit there. Pull it forward.
You got to pull it out the sides, right?
Yeah, but it'll sit on the front. It's not tacked in. And here we have the edge roll. And we'll just tack it into the side.
Boy, this would feel uncomfortable if you had to sit just on this. It's very itchy. Although I had a pair of wool pants like this that felt like this.
Brad Dorff.
Big bell bottoms with a pleat and wool in the summer. It was the style, though, and the platform shoes. I wore the platform shoes one week. One day, I mean.
And that, you know, I always noticed I was leaning forward a lot when I walked in them. We've laid in just a nice loft of cotton batting on the... What? You ruined it.
I didn't ruin it.
Come on, you're going to ruin it.
I'm having fun with foam. I didn't ruin it, see?
For our Long Island friends. Now we're going to lay in foam on the sides and the back. Look, it's cut out just like Abe.
The Pilgrims.
No.
Yeah.
No. Put down that gun, you actor, you.
You.
So then...
It was a Blackbeard he had.
So then you just lay it in, it's cut to fit, and it doesn't have to be tacked down at the bottom.
And bring it around the arm, right?
Bring it around the arm so it'll nicely pad the top of the arm.
And just staple it in there.
Staple it in. Is that sinking?
Yeah.
And now, when you're finished,
Look at that.
you get the nice big
big
foam
foam.
for the back, and we lay that in. We stuff that down the bottom
Look at
there.
all this.
Chazarai.
I was going to say that, but I didn't have enough phlegm in my mouth. Chazarai.
And we have to spin.
When I have a cold, I can say that really well.
This will define this top shape and make it a nice place upon which to lay your
Go
head.
ahead.
Oh, see,
Hey,
that's the
what's that?
compressor. It's okay. This is like a real shop, and that's what makes this go.
Go ahead.
Oh,
What do you got there now?
you're
Look at
lapping a little.
You're telling
See,
me.
when you laid it in, that's okay.
Hey, it
because
was- oh,
we
it's my fault.
Well, it was your side,
Come here,
wasn't
you.
it? Hey, Ray, look, a V8. Now, before we put on the fabric, we want something to hold down everything we've put on so far, and that will be, wait, muslin. Why don't you check the bottom, too?
Wait. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right, now we want to tack in this muslin with the staple gun. We always put a tack in the center first, and now I'll make a release cut with my scissors. Could you hand me my scissors, brother? Thank you. Now, this is just draped around. I want to make release cut up there.
Uh-huh. Yeah, oh, release. Look at that.
So it comes out, and then you can fold it and make it nice. And then I'll do one over here.
And you're going to pull this down and staple it, right?
Oh, yes. Do it to this side.
And over here.
We trim that off, which is much too boring for television. And now we spin it around to the front part.
Look at that nice height.
Yeah, it's nice. And that's when you set your height, because the only thing that's going to go on top of this is the fabric.
And you. Well, not you.
Well, not me in
Whoever
particular.
is going to sit on the chair.
Look, this does not have a release cut as yet. So you pull both edges through until you get enough so that when you cut it, all you have to do is make a final fold. See how this, you can see the excess there. Make it up to the back of this element here, this
Pull that
arm,
through.
and then
There you
pull it
go.
through. Isn't that nice?
Beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Hey, if I can do it.
And now we're going to make a nice happy seat. Pull it down, we'll make a happy seat.
And a tree.
And a happy tree.
And as you pull it down, you might want to get to the height of the seat. What a magnificent seat. And see that you're getting your dome. Your dome.
The
The
dome.
middle in the teapot dome affair.
How about getting over here?
Warren G. Harding, the most exciting president until, of course, Mr. Reagan. And we'll make
Howard
it.
Fillmore was nice.
That was before, way before.
Oh, way before.
Way before.
It's around Reagan's time, though. He was
Well, they went to high school together, actually. Tippecanoe and Dukakis, too. See, now they don't know what year this was made. Pull that down. And now we'll do the sides.
do that side. Turn it around. It's looking nice. We're going to do the inside back after this, right?
You know what? I'm getting tired of this. I think maybe we should go on a little bit of a trip.
Oh, yeah. You know, we're doing this chair. It's a reproduction of a federal style.
That's
but
right.
We took a visit to Winterthur Museum.
Where they have genuine federal stuff.
And we had such a fun time.
Yeah, remember, when you have a real antique, not a bogus reproduction like this, you shouldn't do what we're doing. You shouldn't strip.
We shouldn't do what we're doing. But
I
watch,
used to work in a candy store.
watch this and you'll see what we did.
Dear Diary, Benedict Arnold made everyone a strange egg concoction for breakfast this morning.
We're here at Winterthur Museum with Bob Trent, who's the curator of all the furniture here in this building.
Yes, Winterthur was the home of Henry Francis DuPont, and boy, he filled it with furniture.
All 9 stories of it.
Ooh, amazing repository of American furniture.
Well, he rebuilt his house to be a museum starting in the 1920s.
Wow. And behind us, you can see more.
Yes, John and Thomas Seymour, the most famous federal furniture makers in Boston, veneered with satinwood, fragile. We have our unique 5-chair back settee back there.
That's a beautiful settee.
It's comfortable.
I should say. And here is one of the fragile side chairs.
We get to see underneath. See, he can pick it up and I can point, but I can't touch it.
New webbing, new blocks, and this little corner leg form makes the little inside joint necessary.
Right, and this would be a tenon joint, so the tenons would be coming in from the sides. Yeah,
It's been repaired a lot of times.
that's it, we.
And next, we're going to look at some of the furniture in the
Dining room cross hall.
And that's across the hall here.
one would say. Bob, lead the way. Let's go.
Where were you?
I was dipping some snuff in the anteroom. Don't make a federal case. Oh, what a segue.
This is a Hepplewhite chair from Salem, Massachusetts, made by Samuel McIntyre for Elias Haskett Derby, America's first millionaire.
Who invented the hat? Did he know how to derby?
And this is a mahogany with a lot of carvings.
beautiful too.
Unlike the veneered ones we saw before. And here at Winnetou, we do non-intrusive upholstery.
Wow. That's a foam thing under there.
Ethifoam.
A fretted ethifoam, please.
And glued-on brass nails.
Not tacked.
So no more iron metal no more metal fasteners in the object.
So if you're banging the nail and you would damage the chair, so that's why everything is...
And this was taken from a Hepplewhite pattern?
Yeah, this is from Hepplewhite's Guide, which was published in 1788.
Wow, that fabulous stuff. As a matter of fact, what we've seen is approximately 1/10,000.
1/10,000?
The furniture they have here at Winter Tour in Delaware. And we urge you to come here. Maybe you'll run into Bob and you can bother him once.
Say, hey, can I have your autograph? I saw you on that show.
Anyway, we didn't break anything, Bob.
No, we got away clean.
Thanks a lot. Thousands and thousands of profanity-laced obsessive fan letters.
Well, we got hundreds at least.
Well, here's the first one. Sirs, this is from Pierre Bouvier and Michael Pudva of Chicago, Illinois. We love your show. It's got campy entertainment value, I'm sure. We bought a 1954 cedar chest. How do you know it's a 1954? Does it have
Stamped on the back.
certain kind of fin? At a thrift store, its outside is covered with cheap, ugly beige and now badly scratched plywood veneer. We'd like to remove this veneer to reveal the great, fragrant red cedar underneath without gouging, scorching, or otherwise damaging the cedar in the process.
Red cedar underneath.
We've gone to hardware store clerks and asked them, that's your first mistake. They don't know how to remove it. Stop right there, Michael. Pierre, don't remove the plywood veneer, because under the plywood veneer will not be the cedar. That's just inside.
Where you put things.
Right, that's either a veneer or boards inside. Under the veneer on the outside is not the cedar, it's some kind of blech. And don't take off the veneer or all you'll have is blech.
Yeah.
If you want to replace that veneer, you can. But if you take it off, you won't get to the cedar. There's something else
There's nothing
in
there.
between the two.
All right, my letter is from Janice Egan from Pittman, New Jersey, and she says...
I know the bishop.
She's enclosed some photographs of her grandmother's sewing table. It was an engagement gift to my grandmother from my grandfather, which makes it more than 65 years old. Look at this, with all the the teddy bear's picnic right here.
I think the teddies have chewed on
Yeah,
it.
I would be afraid if that was my baby's room. I would have nightmares. I would like to clean the piece, perhaps minimize the lines. It's got alligatoring, according to her letter. It's little cracks in the finish. And she says, I would like to slather it with moisture. How did you know we would like that word, slather? Well, what you can do is you can take a little bit of alcohol and lacquer thinner, mix it together, take a rag and wipe it. But you have to be very careful because this will take the finish off if you're not careful. So do it gently and do it on a test piece first, an inconspicuous spot. Who knows, you may want to take off all the finish. I don't know. But she
Maybe
said...
just the top.
Well, she says there's some paint and detail work on here, and it will take that off too. So the best thing to do is maybe just put some lemon oil on it. I don't know, that's all I can say.
And now for a contest.
Our big contest for this
We're
season.
starved for affection, and we understand that there are certain Hollywood stars who like our show. We're told we're a cult favorite in California,
Yeah, so we're
like the
asking-
Manson cult.
We're asking all the big stars out there if they have nice furniture, they want to send us pictures of their furniture, if they want to even visit our set, and they got a lot of money, they can come
Harrison
with their
Ford,
own money.
he used to build stuff. Emma Samms, you like to strip and refinish. Gina Davis.
Rip Taylor. Rip Taylor's great.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? So come and join. Send us a picture. Send us your picture.
Because it'll boost the ratings.
We'll put them up on the walls.
We have egos too.
We'll have fun. We're serious.
Yeah, this'll work. Yeah. We'll get Uncle Floyd.
Oh, the first of 2 Federal shows.
Yes, and next time we'll be doing the fabric on the Federal chairs. So until then, my dearest, dearest friends.
You are
Ed Feldman.
And I am Joe L'Erario. And as always, be nice
to your furniture.
Thank you.
So he never did find the maid's bodice in the Hepplewhite.
That Ethan Allen.
What'll it be?
Yes, I'd like one of those specialty drinks. Let's see, how about a dead Hessian?
Okay, Benny?
I have to think about it for a while.
Now, what gets me is the dang fools. They could have won this war if they didn't wear those red coats.
So easy to see against the foliage. It's stupid.
Oh, that looks lovely. Thank you.
You decide yet, Benny?
Yes, I'll have an imported beer. Do you suggest anything?
How about an Antoinette?
What's so special about that?
No head.
This, the 1934.